St. George, Utah, it's not what you think. In this video, we're going to talk about the 7 worst things about living in St. George, Utah. And now we do just have to say that some of the cons that we're going to talk about here, you may be watching this video and you're thinking to yourself, that is not a con. That is why I moved out here. Yeah. Of course, you know, everyone's different. Everyone has different ideas about what a great place to live is. We're just talking about what some things for some people, they say it's a con. We've had clients that come out here and then they've found out these things and then they say, you know what, it's not for me. So we love living in St. George. A lot of these things that we're going to talk about, they're not cons to us, but they can be cons for you. So that's why we're making this video.
Yeah, because we are going to mention that some people take it the wrong way, saying that our belief is that this is a con. It's like, no, for some people it is. So we're just throwing that out there that, again, if these are cons for you, you may want to look elsewhere.
Yeah. So now let's start with the obvious one. It's one we always start with, and that is the brutal summers here in Southern Utah. If you're not even familiar with what Southern Utah even is, you may think, Utah, that's the winter, that's skiing, that's where they have the Olympics. Southern Utah is close to Las Vegas, so our climate is very similar to Las Vegas, and that means we have brutal summers, very nice temperate winters, but the summers are brutal. So if you hate the heat, I don't know, it could not be the right place for you.
I'm not sure how many people love the heat, right? But so people make do with it by planning around it. Fortunately, we are different than, let's say, Florida and Texas, for instance. When it's hot the entire day. Like, there's no getting around it, suffocating. Here, there are ways to work around it, where either you're talking about like doing your outdoor activities in the early morning, or like early in the morning, or like later on in the afternoon. But yeah, that middle of the day in July, there's just no, it's hot. I don't really know what else to say. It's just really hot, and just, you know, for some people, if you feel like it's not going to work for you, then, I mean, you may need to look elsewhere.
Yeah. I mean, I will say one nice thing about here, though, is that because we are in a valley, you can escape the heat quite easily. You know, 45 minutes you're in Pine Valley, 45 minutes you're in the upper reaches of Zion National Park, 45 minutes you're in Cedar City, and these are mountainous areas where the temperature is a lot lower. So
yes, because obviously we're about 2,500 or so feet elevation, but you very quickly get to 5,000, and that totally changes.
Yeah.
Like, takes the edge off the heat for sure.
For sure.
So before we continue, let's introduce ourselves. I'm Sean Dazad.
And I'm Courtney Dazad.
And I'm a licensed real estate agent here in the state of Utah. And if you're watching this channel, you might be thinking, wow, Sean, I love St. George. I love the blue skies. I love the outdoor activities. I love the red rocks. I can't wait to move here. Now, the problem is I'm not local, and maybe I'm a state, maybe out of the country, so I don't know what to do. I totally get that. That's why you reach out to us so we can have that conversation, find out specifically what you're looking for, and we give you your boots on the ground. We work with a team that has over 40 years of experience selling real estate here in the St. George region itself. So what you want to do is when you give us a call or shoot us a text.
Yes, that number is a cell phone, so you can call us or text us, or you can use WhatsApp if you're outside the country. Now, another con is that because here in St. George, it is a small population center and the largest big city is an hour and 45 minutes away, that city being Las Vegas, you can sometimes feel like you're on an island a little bit. You can get island fever. You know, that just,
I mean, if you're coming from a bigger area, I guess if you're coming from a bigger metropolitan area, of course, that will feel a bit of an island. I mean, good news is that Las Vegas is only about an hour and 45 minutes down the road. It's good to know that it's there, right? It's convenient. It's just a pretty relatively short drive. You can make an evening out of it. You can make a weekend out of it. But it's there to kind of take that edge off if you're kind of going, okay, I need a little bit more. Because, again, we're about a population of about 200,000 people, like in the southern Utah region. And so, yeah, it can feel a little bit over time, like, you know, you just kind of want a little bit more options.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I just really want all-you-can-eat sushi, and we don't really have that here.
Not good ones.
Yeah, not good all-you-can-eat sushi, so I feel like I need to go to Vegas for that. Now, if you're someone who loves nightlife, you know, you're thinking about Las Vegas, you know, nightlife capital of the world, I don't know if St. George is going to be the right place for you.
Polar opposite?
Yeah, it's kind of the polar opposite.
Again, we do have a downtown area that we have some, you know, we have some bars, we have some restaurants and all, you know, like we have restaurants, of course, but like we have some bars and that kind of thing. If that's what you love more than anything, it's just not built that way.
No, for sure. And then to go on to that, some people really don't like the liquor laws here. You can't buy anything that's over 4% in the grocery store, so you have to go to the state liquor store, which is a lot more expensive. So, you know.
It is what it is. I mean, so the options are there. So it's not like, you know, this is a dry state where you can't do anything. It's just more that you can't, you know, there are bars, there are restaurants that have full bars to them. They do, you know, they're out there. It's just not as prevalent, as well as, you know, again, you do have these state-sponsored liquor stores where There are not as many of them. There's not like a 7-Eleven on every corner. So it's just that it's a little bit more limited. If you love it, it's not impossible to do. It's just that it's more limited.
Yeah, for sure. And then going back to that sort of nightlife thing, you know, if you love big cities, you know, you think New York, London, Paris, these are like your place. This is not a big city, right? I mean, people come here because they want the more small town vibe. They want the sort of, I know this is not the Midwest, but it has a very Midwestern vibe in terms of just like the small town charm of it. So
yeah, I mean, so obviously we like this aspect of it. I think it's like that perfect size where it's not too big, where it loses that charm, but it's also not too small. So the thing is, we do have pretty much all the big box groceries, you know, like big box stores, where that's, you know, Best Buy, like Walmart, Costco, most importantly, of course. And then like we have all these big box, you know, retail establishments. So we're big enough for that, but we're not so big that, again, it just feels like you're in New York City or something.
Yeah, I think the best way to describe it is our business partner, Sue, she was saying that, you know, they went down to Las Vegas a couple months ago because they wanted to see like a Mariah Carey concert. You know, Mariah Carey, she's not going to come here, right? So if you just love that kind of stuff where you're kind of in the middle of where all this stuff is happening, it's just not how it is here, right? It's just more laid back, chill. People are going to do stuff. They're going to be going outside, you know, the great outdoors. This is your playground. You know, if you want to see Mariah Carey, you're going to have to go to Vegas.
And again, it's not that far away. I mean, what I love about it is that we get to scratch the itch of a mega metropolitan area in Vegas, but we're not living in Vegas, because I've been to Vegas for something of an extended period of time. There can be too much of a good thing, and I'm very happy to leave there. Ultimately, you just kind of get
2 nights.
Exactly. It's not very. When I say extended, I mean 3 days. Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like
3 days is too much.
I'm kind of done. I want to go back. Like, so it's good to go, like have that option, like, but I just couldn't live there perpetually.
And even Vegas is not that big of a city.
No. I mean. Yeah, the metro population is about 3 million or so.
Yeah. And
so
the traffic there is not that bad.
No.
For a big city.
But again, what's good about it is that it's also not too huge but you get all the artists, or, you know, anyone that's famous is going to go through there, because it's just the entertainment capital of the world.
So another con of St. George, and this is really of any, you know, smaller metropolitan area, obviously your high-paying jobs are going to be on the limited side because you have a smaller population. So same goes for here. Utah is a very business-friendly state, but in terms of here in the St. George region, definitely, you know, the high-paying jobs are harder to come by in this area.
Yeah, I mean, there's just like the diverse amount of job opportunities. There's just not as many, just because, again, it's about 200,000 people. So you just don't have, again, there's just not that enough people to feed that. Now, like, what's good is that what we do have is, because one, it's growing, but second is that you do have these opportunities for remote work more so than you did 5 years ago, right? So things have really changed from that perspective, where there are more business establishments that are amenable to people working remotely, and I've had a lot of people relocate here that really just go, okay, I want to be here even if my job isn't, and I'm afforded that opportunity to go just more periodically to the actual like headquarters or something.
Yeah. Now another con here, and this is really a perspective thing, is the cost of housing. So we're definitely higher than the national average, about, you know, depending on where you are, about 25% higher. But for us, we kind of look at it, St. George and all of Utah, honestly, is a desirable place to live. So if it's only a 25% premium on such a desirable place to live, for us, that's really good value. But, you know, everyone's different. Sometimes people, they don't care. They just want those Houston prices, right? Like they want the giant mansion for $250,000, which you're not going to get here. A giant mansion is going to cost you $1 million here, so.
Yeah, $1 million plus. I mean, for sure. I mean, So I think that we get 2 sets of people that come in here. So one is that they're like, wow, I'm actually surprised by how much I can get because of depending on where they're coming from, and also understanding that this is a desirable area to live. And then on the other hand, we get people that come out here and they're just kind of, to them, they're sticker shock because of where they're coming from, right? It's just, they thought it was going to be dirt cheap, and it's like, no, there's a lot of people that want to live here. So, you know, supply and demand.
Yeah, and I think people see all the vast open space here and they think, well, you have all this space to build. Well, a lot of this space is owned by the Bureau of Land Management. So it's either owned privately or owned by the Bureau of Land Management. So there's not as much available land as you would think.
So you're saying that we can't just put a flag in, stake a claim, and like
No.
This is our land.
This is Bureau of Land Management.
Oh.
But the good thing is that you can enjoy it. Everyone can enjoy it.
That is true.
It's for public use.
Yeah, it's not as fenced off as, let's say, some other parts of the country where it's all privately owned and that's like a bunch of trespassing. Here, there are lots of opportunities to actually go, side by side, off-roading, all that stuff, where a lot of other places in the country, you're not allowed to do anything.
Yeah. So another negative of living here is there are a lot of, mom and pop stores that are closed on Sunday. So, just for example, the other Sunday, my kids wanted to get a snow cone, and then we went and it was closed. So
yeah, think of Chick-fil-A on a level where, again, the mom and pop shops are like a good amount of them are closed. Now, good news is that all the big box retailers are all open, so it's not like it's that restrictive. It's just that you have to understand like restaurants and shopping opportunities could be more limited. I actually like it because I find that less people are out. So for me, there's like less lines to do anything. So I actually enjoy the fact that there's not as much happening on Sunday.
Yeah, just if you want to go to a specific store, just Google it first to make sure it's actually open.
Yeah,
and it might actually, if it's a mom and pop, it might actually be open on Sunday but closed on another day. So
yeah, there's that too.
So you can't assume that the hours are going to be Monday through Sunday, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Like, you have to assume that if it's owned by a mom and pop, then the hours might be weird.
And remember, I am a licensed realtor here in the state of Utah. So as much as we love making these videos, what we love more is to help you with your real estate needs. So whether you're looking to buy or sell a home, what you want to do is you want to give us a call or shoot us a text.
Yes, that number is a cell phone, so you can call us or text us, or you can use WhatsApp if you're outside the country.